Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. I am your host, God of Heroics, and it has been a minute since I've even looked at Death Battle. In fact, the last one I saw was the one that we did here on the channel, where it was Yusuke versus Ichigo that I watched with Servo. I haven't seen any of them, but upon opening YouTube to literally just play a video in the background while I played video games, I saw that there is a new Death Battle with two characters that I'm very interested in. One I don't know super a lot about, and the other that I am heavily knowledge about. And it is going to be Superboy Prime versus Sentry. I know so much about Superboy Prime. I've been following his continuity since way back when, but Sentry I have like surface level knowledge on, so I'm not entirely certain what the correlation between the two characters are. Maybe the fact that they can punch through different like dimensions and stuff like that, even though, well, Superboy Prime can punch through realities and stuff, but that's neither here nor there. Anyway, let's go ahead and watch. I don't know the scaling for Sentry. It's really hard to properly scale Superboy Prime anyway. But yeah, anyway, we're gonna get started. If you like this type of videos, please like the video, subscribe to the page, hit the notification bell so you can be notified to all future uploads. And without further ado, let's get started.
Sentry versus Superboy Prime.
These two dark supermen prove that sometimes absolute power corrupts absolutely.
He's Wiz and I'm Boomstick.
And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win a death battle.
Okay, there we go. The audio wasn't doing too well at first, but I think we should be fine now.
Stands alone at the peak of Marvel Comics. He's a brilliant scientist and friend to all. The Golden Guardian of Good, the Sentry.
Which makes it all the more mysterious when all of humanity forgot about him, as though he never existed in the first place.
What if the reason we forgot Sentry is that he wanted to be forgotten?
This I do remember.
Us from himself.
I know about this
As
stuff.
the story goes, Robbie Reynolds was just your average, ordinary high school teen until the day he accidentally drank this super soldier serum.
At that moment, Robbie was imbued
Accidentally.
with the power of a million exploding suns, becoming one of the strongest superheroes in existence.
That's gonna be one hell of a bout.
Boom.
And what better way to use his new powers than to become a sentry to all mankind?
In a never-ending crusade against his devious arch-nemesis, the Void.
He's got all your
Yes,
classic
yes.
believe he's
This I
got
didn't know. I didn't know
powers,
Sentry and Void were
super
separate
strength,
beings.
Speed, durability, and flight.
He can spot you from miles away, or even hear a butterfly sneeze from across the planet.
You butterflies sneeze?
No!
Well, Sentry cells absorb and process the sun's rays, and if he
Right.
wants to, he can fire that solar energy right back at you in a powerful laser, or bend light away to turn invisible, or use it to make force fields.
Really, the Sentry can draw power from anywhere and everywhere. When he was forcibly shrunk down to subatomic size, he started pulling energy from the microverse instead. And despite being microscopic, his punches were strong enough to destroy planets.
Crazy.
Holding
Well,
back.
Big Bang Theory, I assume.
Teleport, communicate telepathically, and even read and mess with minds.
He's also a genius with a super brain comparable to Tony Stark and Reed Richards. He's
That
even
I
built his
did
own
not know.
watchtower with an advanced
I know like the primary smart people of like the Marvel universe would be obviously like Doom, Reed, you get, he literally just said it, Tony. I know Moon Girl is one of them. Tony's daughter is starting to get like pretty smart. Not Tony's daughter, Reed's daughter, Valeria, is starting to get pretty smart too. But yeah, I actually did not know Sentry was that high in knowledge.
AI that is constantly monitoring the planet for threats.
Jesus Christ, he's like the Avengers all in one. Why do there even need to be any other superheroes?
Indeed, the Sentry is more than strong enough to take on Marvel's heaviest hitters, like his famous battle with the Green Scar Hulk.
Yeah, they
where
fought to a
Black Bolt,
standstill,
Iron
didn't
Man,
they?
and Doctor Strange failed. The Sentry was the only one who stood against the Hulk's full power.
He's also battled Thor, who collapsed an infinite number of timelines into one by clashing with another Thor.
The
Sick.
Sentry is incredibly fast too. He can bend space and speed blitz Ares, who can move within Planck time, the smallest unit of time possible in our universe.
He's
Ares is that
as
fast?
fast as the Heralds of Galactus, like the Silver Surfer, who once outraced the multiverse blowing up. This surfer flew so fast he went back in time. So you'd think Sentry would be able to handle some punk in a trench coat.
But it wasn't so simple. The Void was everywhere that the Sentry wasn't.
If Sentry saved people from a burning building, Void would crash an airplane. If Sentry healed a
That's
person with
petty.
a broken back, Void would give someone else cancer. What an asshole!
Jesus.
Good as the Sentry performs, the Void commits an evil one. Because the truth was, the Sentry and the Void
They're one and the same.
were one and the same.
Bum, bum, plot twist. Turns out Sentry's whole origin story was a lie. Robbie Reynolds wasn't a 60s high schooler beating up bullies like some Jack Kirby comic.
In reality, Bob Reynolds was a
Yeah,
schizophrenic
the-
meth addict.
Okay, so then I did know a decent amount of his origin because I knew for a fact that like Bob was this huge like drug addict and stuff like that, and that's how he got involved in all this nonsense and ended up getting these powers. But like when he was saying that the Void and Sentry were two different beings, I was like, that doesn't sound like what I remember, but that's because it's not what I remember. Apparently, I did not know the fake story, but now I know that that fake story was part of his mental illness.
And the Void was, in reality, a malevolent godlike entity bonded to Bob that was the literal angel of death.
Yes, from the Bible.
That's insane.
With Moses and the Pharaoh and the dead firstborns. That's him, apparently.
And this being manifests as the dark side of Bob's shattered psyche, a villainous alter ego with all of his power. Too much power for any one man to handle. The only way to destroy the Void was to also destroy the
Sentry. Yep.
So Bob did something crazy. With help from Reed's tech, he used his own psychic powers to erase himself from everyone's past, present, and future, including his own.
Warping the perception of reality of every single person on the planet. They would no longer remember him or even recognize anything remotely related to him. A picture of the Sentry would still technically exist, but in your mind's eye, including Bob's, it isn't there.
Great. Everyone
That's
knows reversing
crazy.
your problems always makes them better.
That's like Spider-Man wishing that like people didn't know who Peter Parker was in the No Way Home movie. So like when people see pictures of him, they just don't perceive Peter Parker.
But Bob's memories eventually clawed their way back, in part thanks to Norman Osborn, the Green Goblin, and his desire to somehow control the Void. So Norman had the Thunderbolts murder Bob's wife Lindy in order to release, you know, the Angel of
Jeez.
Yeah, try controlling the kind of guy who can throw hands with Molecule Man, who somehow is one of the strongest beings in all of Marvel. At his peak, he's got almost complete control over the multiverse.
I mean,
Yeah, come
you
on
can
for that
control
one.
molecules,
Molecule Man
yeah.
is another mentally unstable god whose power fluctuates based on their self-confidence. In a way, a sort of kindred spirit to Bob.
It was then that Bob discovered the true source of his own powers, his own control over molecules. Yeah, you can do that too.
Oh, yeah. Look at me. I'm the Molecule Man now.
Matter on a whim, able to rip you apart at the molecular level, or conjure an entire new reality from scratch, all with just a wave of his hand.
Gone.
Like Dr. Manhattan.
He can also regenerate his body from any kind of damage, like being burnt to a skeleton or getting Dr. Manhattan himself.
As long as one single solitary atom remains, the Sentry is unkillable.
And Void's got all of this and more, except he doesn't hold back. He can shapeshift, create hurricanes, trap you in darkness, possess your body, and devour your soul.
With his infinitendrils, the Void takes control of a victim's mind and tortures them with the memories of past traumas and nightmares.
He killed Loki. He wrecked Asgard. The Avengers, the Fantastic Four, the Inhumans, and the X-Men.
Look, all I'm gonna say is Buddy was nerfed in the Thunderbolts movie because holy hell. Like, this is a wide range of crazy nonsense the Void is capable of that they honestly did not have to deal with that much. Like, yeah, people got like slapped into shadows and all of New York quite literally got possessed by the Shadow Realm, but like, that's light work.
Teaming up all at once could barely handle him. Void is one of the biggest bads in Marvel. Great fucking job, Norm. I'm something of a moron myself.
The only way forward, the only way for Bob to save everyone, including himself, was to do something he never imagined. let the Void in.
By refusing to repress his darker half anymore, Sentry and Void merged and became stronger than the sum of their parts.
One being now free to finally live.
I am not.
without-
I am neither Sentry nor Void. I am the one who will destroy you. I love Vegito. I love Gogeta. I love both, but Vegito's better.
The crushing weight of self-hatred and fear.
Maybe, but this is the Void we're talking about. What if Bob just has a new puppet master who's only letting him think he's in control?
As long as the Void exists, it's just another revolution in that same endless cycle. It remains to be seen whether even death itself can break that wheel.
He'll be back. Sentry is gone, but not forgotten. He'll never be forgotten again.
I'm kind of surprised they didn't mention anything about the Marvel Zombies storyline, because in the Marvel Zombies timeline, I think it was the second time that they had the zombie infection or something like that. No, it was the first time, but it spawned from the second time, I think. But Sentry got infected and he had nothing. I think like in his timeline when he got infected, he had like no one else to consume or kill or anything like that. So he literally punched his way into another dimension, and then he spread the zombie infection in like the new timeline where the Marvel zombie stuff happened. I'm surprised they didn't mention that at all, because that's a crazy feat.
Do you
But
believe
on the Superboy Prime, sorry, he's Superman now in the comics, but Superboy Prime.
Everyone in their irradiated six-dimensional gorilla mother can do it.
Well, what about in the real world? Not Earth 1 or Earth 2, but our own Earth. Earth Prime.
The Earth of you, me, and Clark Kent. A totally normal boy from New England who just happened to share a name with that comic book character.
Mere coincidence. That is, until the day Clark took a leap of faith and believed he could fly.
And he did. Surprise, surprise, Clark was actually from the planet Krypton, which apparently exists in our universe now?
Sure.
The real Superman, the one from all those comics he loved, showed up just in time to give him the skinny on being Superboy. Wait, he could have chosen me! I believe I can fly!
Mostly, don't jump off the... Clark had all your classic Kryptonian powers. Flight, heat vision, microscopic and telescopic sight, Arctic breath. It was the dream that every little boy had finally come true.
Oh, just in time for his universe, our universe,
To go away.
annihilate. Literally 1 month later in DC Comics Armageddon, the Crisis on Infinite Earths. Whiz, we're canonically dead since 1986, apparently.
With everyone
Allegedly.
he loved gone, Clark took shelter in a pocket dimension with other cosmic refugees. Now, an anachronism in DC's new, rebooted, post-crisis continuity, Clark was forced to watch as the comics landscape changed before his eyes. As stories became darker and morally complex, as heroes
Way
failed to be the
grittier.
paragons of
Death.
good he saw them as in his childhood.
As someone else got to be Superboy.
Some people can't
The
stand
clone,
change.
Connor.
Can't stand to see a world that doesn't look the way it did.
And this is when he becomes a crash
They
out.
needed to be saved by Superboy, the real Superboy, Superboy Prime.
So he did what any Superboy would do. Punch really hard. He punched his way out of the dimension so hard, the shockwaves rippled through the universe and retconned DC Comics.
And that caused a
Superboy was
lot
back,
of changes.
and he was gonna fix comic books forever. Hell yeah!
No matter how many fake heroes got in his way.
Oh shit! Super Chud Prime isn't just your ordinary Kryptonian. Oh no, he's pre-crisis.
As in, from before the Crisis on Infinite Earths.
Yep.
A time when comics were a bit more...
Crazier.
canonical.
Remember when OG Superman shot miniature Supermans out of his hands? That was an insane time to be alive in comics.
Superman could sneeze solar systems apart or
Oh yeah, yeah, and then when he had them all like lined up on a chain like that, yeah, and then he just started pulling them around. Yeah, comics were wacky as hell back then.
tow a galaxy.
Like comics had their own version of like Toon Force. I guess you can call it Comic Force.
So hard, they generated enough power to restore an infinite number of timelines.
Get ready to hear that word a lot. My favorite is the time Superman flew so fast he broke the light barrier, the time barrier, and even the bonds of infinity. I wonder if these writers ever imagined this bullshit would feed nerd arguments for the next half century. Not that I'm complaining.
Century?
That's how I get paid.
Century?
No,
Get
he is
it?
a self-described power scaler's dream.
Huh. You think he's heard about us?
We can only
Yes.
hope not. As a Kryptonian with an ultra-dense molecular structure, he should also share many of the same resistances, like being transmuted to stone, having his atomic bonds weakened, or getting his energy drained. Kryptonians like Superman can withstand more esoteric attacks too. They can actively resist mental attacks by outthinking them, and their souls can resist being destroyed.
All thanks to Earth's good old yellow sun fueling his cells. And unlike that post-crisis super fraud who gets weaker without sunlight, Prime's got it covered.
With a suit of armor made from the corpse of the Anti-Monitor, which
Yep.
constantly
Feeds him
energy.
solar energy. Yeah. I remember this. This was sick as hell. But what I was gonna say was damn, because like the way Doomsday punched Superman's head into the ground, I forgot about that movie. That was insane. But their fight was intense. I know they did like a remake version kind of, and it was cool in my opinion. It wasn't as cool as like the Justice League Unlimited fight, but yeah, it was sick.
Literally wearing the pelt of the monster who destroyed his universe. Just to
On
be
some
better
Thrag
and
shit, bro.
stronger than Superman.
Because that's what he thinks he is. Superman with better feats and scaling. Superman, but real.
Superman, if he was
But
a
better.
fucking idiot.
Ah, well,
Okay,
yeah,
sure,
that
he has
too.
The same hyper-efficient brain that all Kryptonians have, but when it came to being a superhero, he was a violent, immature moron.
Exactly what you'd expect from a
Ignore that
kid who
background.
never-
Ignore that sound in the background. My cat is cleaning herself and she keeps her head when she leans back keeps hitting the blinds. Dorothy. Dorothy, are you done? Yeah, no, she's still going.
grew
Anyway,
up and
ignore it.
never learned to hold back. Instead of saving Earth's heroes, he started massacring them. And let's be real, there's a part of him that knows that editorial will just bring them all back eventually.
He's battled the Doom Patrol, Justice Society.
That I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing though, because like technically, yes, you can't get rid of him as long as he keeps getting brought back in continuity. But wouldn't that also be a weakness of his in these in like a death battle where he's just like, yeah, it doesn't matter. I mean, he's still gonna fight with all he's got, but if he thinks nothing matters, that might be a bad thing. But at the same time, I don't know. We'll see. I'm rooting for Superboy Prime, by the way. Like when I saw this matchup, Superboy Prime, that's my boy. If I had the money to make his cosplay or the money to buy it from someone who really makes it really well, I would.
Teen Titans and 3 Flashes at once. He effortlessly murdered an alternate universe Justice League and even killed his rival, Connor Kent, the new Superboy.
Yes, he did. I remember
Even as
that.
other Kryptonians
And then
grew
he
in
went
power
ahead
to
and killed
jump
Golden
over
Age
to
Superman,
previous
too.
iterations, Prime still held an advantage because he never held back.
Like the time he tore apart the Monarch's armor, accidentally unleashing the Big Bang in his face, destroying the universe, and he was fine.
Or the time a Guardian of the Universe blew himself up in an attempt to stop Prime.
And he was perfectly
Rising
fine.
up the multiverse atom by atom, and that only made Prime stronger.
Or the time he fought a potential future version of himself who became a god of time.
And
instead
he
of
beat his
shooting him,
ass too.
Prime stupidly attacked him and accidentally retconned themselves both out of existence.
Which sent him home. Back
Yeah.
to his original universe. Our universe. Except
And notice that S on his chest is crossed out now. Kind of letting you see where the story's going.
now everyone he knew, his parents, his girlfriend Lori, had been reading his comics. They knew what he had become, and they were terrified.
Once
And this
he
was like
forced to
pretty
work
much us
with his
looking at the
heroes for
viewers'
weeks without him,
side.
He pored over comic after comic, learning everything about DC,
And a little bit of Marvel.
only to discover his worst possible nightmare.
Not only would he never get to be Superman, he wasn't even a super villain that people liked.
Yeah, everybody hated him, and they kind of just were like, it's bullshit. You know, he's just crashing out, raging out, throwing a tantrum. And then they also didn't like that his powers were just like OP Superman plus the ability to do whatever because he can perceive himself in a comic reality. Like characters that know they're in a comic book, like Deadpool, they kind of just have the wacky ability to do nonsense. Like if you've ever seen some like She-Hulk comics, she can like walk from like one panel to the other and stuff like that because she knows it's a comic book. It's much the same with him though. Like his is not for gags. It's more like this is just an addition to his power set. You know, like the stronger he gets as a Kryptonian with like Superman powers, the stronger his I guess you could say reality ignoring abilities become. I wouldn't call it reality manipulation, but it's like he can kind of just ignore the bounds of like a comic book reality.
Turns out, power levels aren't everything.
So, naturally, he flew to DC headquarters and attacked the people writing his own comic.
Like some infinitely recursive meta hell.
Prime had become a whiny, petulant, reactionary fanboy. Wiz, you think
He
he's
gets
the guy
redeemed
posted
though.
on our
There's
Reddit
a
page?
redemption arc.
Think of his violent temper tantrum.
Oh, actually, considering they just made this, I wonder if they're gonna talk about the DCKO event, because he's very important in that. He comes in. I won't spoil it in case they say something about it, but he comes back in the DCKO event and he does some stuff. And now he has his own comic book run. And he's actually acting as Superman. I'm not gonna say what's going on in case you're reading it or want to read it. Um, but yeah, no, there's some stuff going on.
He murdered the Golden Age Superman.
Yeah,
The
like I said
original
earlier.
Superman. Action Comics #1. The first superhero.
Instead of restoring DC's glorious past, Prime beat it to death. He needed to change.
And that opportunity came when this alternate universe Jokerized
Yep.
Batman Who Laughs threatened to destroy all of reality.
And he was the
Prime
only
was
one who
drafted
could
to
fight
help save the
fight
day,
through the
and it
multiverse the
turned
way
out
he
was
does.
the only Superboy who could.
Remember that time Prime punched reality so hard he retconned DC Comics? Turns out that was no coincidence. Due to his repeated excursions across the multiverse, Prime became a space-time
Oh
anomaly.
yeah.
Slowly
So this
learned how
is
to manipulate
they are talking about the DCKO event. Well, I mean the stuff that happened after, but what Doomsday just said about him was
reality
in that
itself
event.
with his fists.
I guess you could call it his retcon punch.
At first, its effects were random, like bringing Jason Todd back to life or restoring Beast Boy's memories. But he started to use it to rewrite continuity to fix the evil universes of the Batman Who Laughs.
Giving them and all the characters
Oh my god, you don't see it, but there's like this random pop-up that was on my
inside
corner.
of them happy endings. In a weird way, that's what Superman has always done, right? Punch the bad guy so hard he saves the day.
Prime can punch hard enough to enter the time stream, seemingly exit the comic medium entirely, and even defeat the nigh omnipotent Darkest Knight.
Who was powerful enough to
Yep.
beat Perpetua, the goddess who created all of DC Comics, the whole shebang. And Prime hit the Darkest Knight so hard, he erased his entire evil multiverse.
And I kind of like that happened as well. Sorry, I keep pausing, but I kind of like that happened. Oh, look, the Eradicator. But yeah, so that happened. It was cool. I like that he eradicated his evil past, not forgetting about it, but like kind of like a symbolic way of saying like he redeemed himself. Because the Batman Who Laughs, with all of the nonsense he was doing, and then like grabbing like the making his own like Dark Justice League from like the dark universes, and then getting his multiversal powers and trying to collapse it and all that shit. Superboy Prime was essentially like the opposite of that, where he wanted the multiverse to thrive, but with his multiversal powers and the crash out he had and stuff, people didn't trust him, and he kind of was like in a stupor. But standing up and defeating this guy, the Batman Who Laughs, was kind of like beating up who he could have been, essentially. Like the Batman Who Laughs was the guy that he had the potential to become, and if he had gotten worse, and defeating him was like saying like, oh, I'm not going to become this guy. I'm going to become the Superman that I was always meant to be, the one that I always wanted to be,
Feats that no one actually saw happen. Prime's first true act of heroism was one that he did selflessly. And it was the first...
Yeah, oh yeah, nobody was there, so he did it just to do it.
The kind of hero that Superman always secretly knew he could be. A hero who could someday get his own issue #1. A hero like, well, Superman.
Maybe one day Prime will truly believe in himself, just like he once believed he could fly.
All right. And with that, we have all the information for both Sentry and Superboy Prime. I still think Superboy Prime is going to win. There is, like I said, some stuff that they didn't mention with Sentry, like, the zombie Sentry punching through one dimension to another or one timeline to another. But overall, I think Superboy Prime has got this. Place your bets in the comments below if you haven't seen this. And then when this is over, let me know how you did. Also, I'm going to like the video. And you should as well.
All right, the battle's about to begin.
It's a pixel
First,
fight. And to be
pixels are
honest,
back.
the pixel fights are kind of cool. Like, I like when they do like the 3-dimensional stuff. That's cool and all. But oh, grab your pitch now. We can pitch our own death battles. That's gonna be so sick. If I pitch one, I wonder if it'll get picked. I don't know what I'm gonna pitch. I had an idea some time ago. I have several ideas. They always pop into my head when I do these kind of videos where I'm like power scaling or talking about, doing like anime discussions or game discussions and stuff like that. But maybe I'll post one and see what happens. Anyway, I like the pixel fights. I think that's what I was saying. Essentially, when they do pixel art, I think it's really cool. It's a niche medium that I think is really fun. People that do pixel art and then do pixel animations, you're on a whole new level.
Data through all possibilities.
It's time
For a death battle! Let's go. Woo! Fight's already starting.
Mess up a superhero crossover? No way, dork. Onomatopoeia coming right up.
Whiff. Nice.
You're dealing with someone who has the power of a million exploding suns!
And you're dealing with someone who absorbs the power of suns. Yup.
Prime time.
Bow! Get him!
Are you kidding me?
Why a train?
Dark Superman fraud? Boring. It's cool when I do it.
Ooh.
Please, stop hitting me.
He'll kill you. I'll kill you.
No, the boy. Oh, that was so terrifying. That was wildly terrifying. The way he split open? That is horrifying.
Bye-bye, Bob. It's time to play God.
Okay, you weren't joking. Definitely a crisis level threat.
Yeah, for real.
So am I.
Run all you want! If Bob couldn't escape me, what hope do you have?
Oh my god, this is gonna give me nightmares.
The Dark Clark? What kind of a hero are you? Remind me again, whatever happened to Lori? It's over, Clark. There is no happy ending. Not for you. Not for me. Not for anyone else. In the void.
Haven't you ever read a comic book, you big freaking nerd? There's always a happy ending.
Show him. Show him who's boss. He punched the void away? Oh, that was sick.
Bob? You kept talking about the Sentry. Bad dream?
No idea, Lindy. Best sleep I've had in years.
Crisis.
Averted. That's my
I
boy.
think I've ever seen someone beaten to death so wholesomely before.
Let's break this down into 3 chapters: their strength, intelligence, and powers.
As with any flying brick fight, the first question you gotta answer is, who's stronger?
Who's stronger?
Prime and Sentry are
That would be
naturally
Superboy
two of the
Prime,
heaviest
right?
hitters in DC and Marvel, more than capable of matching and surpassing Herald-level opponents like Superman and Thor.
Who are both strong enough to create and destroy an infinite number of timelines with their clashes.
Right.
Just absolute wacky bullshit like that.
So in order to pick a winner, we have to take a close look at the strongest beings they fought. Molecule Man and the Darkest Night.
Sentry beat the crap out of Molecule Man, but remember, Eminem's power can fluctuate a lot, and when he fought
Yeah,
Sentry,
based on his
he wasn't at
confidence.
his full power, so we can only scale this so far.
But Prime overpowered the Darkest Night after the Mad Bat had absorbed the powers of both Perpetua and, what do you know,
And Dr. Manhattan,
both
yeah.
of which alone could threaten all of DC Comics.
And unlike with Molecule Man, there's nothing to suggest the Darkest Night was holding back. In a straight brawl, Prime takes the edge in strength. But muscles aren't everything. Maybe Sentry could figure out a way around Prime's
Let's look at their
brawn
hacks.
with his intelligence.
While Prime does possess a super advanced Kryptonian brain, he clearly does not use it to its full extent.
It's less that he's dumb and more that he's a teenager and has a habit of crashing out.
The Sentry, on the other hand, has been compared to Tony Stark and Reed Richards, some of the most intelligent people in all of Marvel Comics.
Right.
Sure, he mentally struggles with the whole Void thing, which sucks for him, but losing control to the Void only makes him more dangerous.
And as the Merge Sentry, he's operating at his peak, fully in control of his powers. In a test of wits and wills, the Sentry
He
was
takes
the
it
more
easily.
intelligent.
But the main question in this matchup had to do with their batshit
Powers.
insane
Yep.
powers.
With the Sentry's ability to reshape molecular matter and warp perception of reality to such an incredible degree, his powers seem much more versatile than Prime's. Prime may
However-
be stronger, but heat vision, frost breath, and Kryptonian punches aren't going to do much in the long run.
But they did
because
say he
someone
can
who
think his way
regenerate
out
from a
of
single atom-
stuff like that.
But pre-crisis Kryptonians have actually resisted having their molecules torn apart before,
Mhm.
and Prime should be no different. So it's not like Sentry was ever going to just Doc Manhattan him away.
Prime could still be worn down. Kryptonians have incredible stamina, but we know that sustained damage will eventually knock them out or kill them.
Unless Prime can
And
find
on
a
top
way
of that, Prime does have basically infinite solar energy coursing through his body, so his recovery time is going to be even faster too.
around Sentry's insane regeneration, he was toast.
Luckily for Prime, his ability to retcon away your history and mess with your whole timeline was actually something Sentry had no specific resistance to.
Not only that, it was something he's been affected by in the past.
Like the time the Scarlet Witch rewrote all of reality during House of M. Bob's continuity was rewritten like everyone else's.
Or the time Absorbing Man had the powers of a cosmic cube and warped Sentry's personal reality. Shit, Moonstone literally
I forgot about
describes
that.
it as a reality punch.
Now, Sentry's psionic power could theoretically retcon himself from Prime's perception of reality. However, this feat required
Then he would have
assistance
had
from
to have
Reed
known
Richards,
about it.
and it's unlikely he could pull it off mid-fight.
Pre-crisis Kryptonians also resist a lot of mind manipulation anyway, so good luck trying.
Now, Prime hasn't
Mm-hmm. That's
always
why
had
the
most
Void powers
perfect
didn't work
control
on him
over
that
his
well.
retcon punch, so he might need more than one blow to finish the job.
But Prime was more than capable of powering through Void's scariest abilities.
Like having his soul eaten or being cut off from sunlight. I guess that Edgelord solar armor came in handy after all.
In short, Prime could resist everything Sentry could throw at him, but Sentry couldn't do the same. Prime takes the final edge in powers.
With no way to easily put him
Yep.
down, Prime would eventually muscle his way through and retcon the Void away for good.
Sorry, Bob, defeat was unavoidable.
The winner is
It's Superboy Prime. All right, what's next? What's the next one?
Pizza's here.
The winner is Superboy Prime. Letter to the editors. Oh yeah.
He punched his way
I
into the
win.
voicing room.
You hack frauds really tried to lowball me, but I checked the clock and it's prime time, baby. Now, personally, that intelligence section was such.
Oh, we're
a
still
gimme.
going.
I don't
Okay.
crash out. I'm a tragic hero grappling with real, intense emotion. I can be smart anytime I want. But anyway, don't subscribe.
Fair.
Don't join as a member. Don't watch Death Battle.
Go-
Read
wow.
my comics. Prime out.
It's kind of funny he says that because in a lot of these death battles, they do, if they have one character that highly scales over the other like this, they do always like kind of downplay them a little bit just to make the match a little more even. It makes the fights more fun to watch, to be honest. But in a general sense, I'm like, why would you even do that? Like, it's okay. Anyway, no, that's fun. If you want to subscribe to Death Battle, go right ahead. If you want to like their video and, do your thing. Don't let Superboy Prime talk you out of it unless he breaks through my video and tells me otherwise, in which case, yeah, do exactly as he says. Anyway, let's see which Death Battle's next, if there is one. I don't know if this is the finale or... No, there's another one. Who is it? Someone in Avatar. Aang? versus Ether from Genshin Impact? Wait, wait. That's crazy. That makes sense though, because currently in Genshin, I believe that the traveler has officially unlocked all the elements. I could be wrong about that, but all the elements that are available in the world of Teyvat or Teyvat, however you pronounce it. I always said Teyvat, but yeah, he has all the abilities now, with ice being like his gun, and then Aang can bend all the elements because he's the fucking avatar. That's gonna be fun. I don't think Ether has like a I don't think he has like an avatar state equivalent. But anyway, we'll talk about that when we get to that video. I'm definitely going to be hyped and recording that one. So anyway, if you like type of videos, please like the video, subscribe to the page, hit the notification bell so you can be notified to all future uploads. And also, my gaming channel is now back, so I do have some gaming videos uploading on there, and I will be constantly recording, and the chances that I get to stream, I will be posting the VODs on there as well. So if you're interested, go to watch the streams on Twitch. When I do stream, I don't have a consistent schedule, but if you hit that notification bell, you'll know when I am streaming. So yeah, that's going to be twitch.tv/God of Heroics. I believe it's just God of Heroics. I don't think it's VT. Anyway, it's up on the screen. And then you can also go to the gaming channel, which is also God of Heroics, over on YouTube. And I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace.